York, in my opinion, as a Knicks fan. My fellow Knicks fans are delusional in thinking that we're far removed from Brooklyn because we're not. We're not a good team. You know, there's hope there, unlike Brooklyn for the next couple years. But after that, you know,
yeah. What's Kevin Garnett worth?
We're a storied, yeah, we're a storied disfranchised franchise.
Worst case scenario, it's a short trip to White Castle.
Yeah. As far as football goes, I know my fellow Jets fans are infuriating. I know I'm infuriating at times. We treat, you know, our 2 games against the Patriots as if it's the Super Bowl every year.
Well, you ask any team other than the Patriots, if there is one team that you could beat twice this season or have a shot at the Super Bowl, most fans, knowing that only one team can win the Super Bowl, would take the 2 wins against their biggest rivals.
Right. But we treat it way more seriously than I think any other team outside of the division treats facing another division rival. I know, you know, your NFC East is all butting heads, but I don't know if any team treats their team against the Patriots as you know, you go Cowboys and it's like a 3-way tie of hatred between Redskins, Giants, and
if the
Cowboys
had to go 2-14 and they could only win 2 games, I hope those 2 games are both against the Eagles.
Okay, so maybe with the Eagles.
They're the team that I hate the most in the NFL, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Fair enough. And we're bad. And the Giants fans are so annoying just from having won a couple of rings.
Our defense is so great this year. We're going to win the Super Bowl because our defense is great. No, he can't score.
Yeah. They think Eli is an elite quarterback, and that's a joke.
No, okay. Eli's an elite quarterback.
He's not an elite quarterback. He's a good quarterback, but he's elite. His numbers do not show elite. And
out from the defense.
He's got a big, stupid head, and all Giants fans need to acknowledge the size of his big, stupid head. Let's see. Who am I not talking
Yankees,
about
Mets.
No. You guys talked about them. We'll skip them.
The Bills.
Rangers and Islanders. Oh, my God, are Islanders fans annoying. I'm a Rangers fan, so of course I find them the most irritating.
Here it comes. I've said this once, and I'll say it again. People from Long Island are infuriating.
As we went to SUNY Albany, we knew that quite well.
State University of New York, Long Island University at Albany, as I've called it many times.
Oh man, does a fan base ever not have anything to talk about? And they always think that they're better than the Rangers, but as has been proven, you know, season after season in recent years, they are wrong.
Incorrect. Yeah, they're very incorrect.
And Rangers fans are infuriating for that exact statement that I just made. Because it's not like we've won the cup since, you know, 94. So we don't really have a leg to stand on. And then I don't care about soccer. So
yeah, no one cares about soccer really. Not the most popular sport in the world, but whatever.
So yeah, all of New York sports, we are infuriating, and we're a large fan base, but we're basically split in 2 in every sport, or maybe 3. Bills fans I'll talk about later. They're in my honorable mentions.
All right, perfect. Tony has any fan from Philly or really Pennsylvania in general.
Oh damn it! That's my number 2.
That's fine. That's fine. Yes. So first of all, the Flyers, for accepting the Wells Fargo Center as a viable option to play their sports in, because it's not. Okay? The Philadelphia 76ers, because this is going to be their 4th straight year of tanking, and their fans are happy. But they also pretend like they've still got Allen Iverson in his prime. So I understand that. And we'll get into more later on.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just recap. My number 3, New York Mets. Dan Beebie, your number 3 was?
The New York Yankees.
New York Yankees. And yours were all of New York. So we just had a New York heavy 3. And then, of course, Tony had to ruin it with Philly.
Yeah.
All right.
As Philly ruins all things.
Yes. Yeah, especially steaks.
Well, I like cheesesteaks, but not the big 2 restaurants whose names I won't name for slander purposes. But if you're going to go to Philly, just skip them. They're tourist traps. Go talk to local Philadelphians and find the real cheesesteak spots.
Well, I saw a thing about how they did a blind taste test between a Philly made by a New Yorker and a Philly made by a Philadelphian, and not knowing which one was which, 85% of the time, people from Philly preferred the New Yorkers. And it was like 400 different people, and like 85% preferred the New York style of the Philly.
Maybe it's because we don't use the cheese whiz, and maybe they were like, "Oh, this is real cheese for once."
I think part of what it is because a lot of people like the idea of a Philly, but a true Philly doesn't have peppers or mushrooms. It just has the steak, the onions, and the cheese.
Yeah, I like the peppers. I'm not a mushroom.
So that's
fan,
not a true Philly cheesesteak. Just like if you have beans and chili, that's not technically really chili. It's chili as we know it, but it's not actual chili based on the traditional chili of the Southwest.
Yeah, it doesn't even. I don't even think traditional chili has tomatoes.
Oh, I don't know about that. I just remember seeing on Big Bang Theory about not having beans. But
Big Bang Theory fans are next week's special of who I hate the most.
Oh.
All right. So number 2, and I think this is going to be a pretty unanimous one. It's the New England Patriots.
Oh,
New England
yes.
Patriots wouldn't be so bad. Tom Brady wouldn't be as bad if the fans weren't such asses.
Oh my god.
All right. And holes.
They're so beyond entitled. They
They
lose
are.
a game and their fans cry and cry and cry and talk about how disappointed they are in their team and ignore the freaking 5 rings that he's brought them. Oh man,
Really-
just shut up, New England fans.
Really infuriating, I don't even know how to say it,
So-
is how much they love Tom Brady, that he can do no wrong. He overthrows Danny Amendola. Was it
It's
Danny Amendola?
Amendola's fault somehow.
When they lost the Super Bowl. No, it was Julian Edelman. And everyone attacked Julian Edelman, forgetting that he's 5'6", and Tom Brady think he's throwing to 6'4"
And,
Randy Moss.
You know, they didn't really acknowledge that catch in this year's Super Bowl was all Edelman's play. He was underthrown. That amazing, spectacular catch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That was all Edelman coming back to an underthrown ball. And just their fan base, it's like if you're a poor urchin child and you're just listening to this rich, spoiled brat talk about how he hates mommy and daddy for not giving him a new sports car this year, even though he's got 5 in the garage already. That's what it's like listening to New England fans complain.
I think the thing, though, that really irks me the most about the New England Patriots fans, and we did an entire episode about sportsmanship, is that they don't care that the Patriots cheated to win. They just do not care.
You could put an asterisk, I think, on 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5, maybe. There's always something.
No, 3 out of 5, because the other ones that they won against the Seahawks and against the Falcons, if you're going to put an asterisk next to those, it better be other team was stupid.
Blowing a 25-point
Fair
lead
enough.
in the second half. Come on.
Don't run to the ball to Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sure the Raiders won't make that mistake.
Oh yeah, the Raiders are gonna test and see what Lynch has in that tank, and they're a threat for the Super Bowl this year.
My prediction was Raiders-Cowboys.
Solid prediction.
Yeah. Dan Beebie, what have you got?
I have a team here that we've already kind of discussed earlier, the Duke Blue Devils. A lot of bandwagoning going on there. At number 2.
There is a lot of bandwagoning, but the true fans, and there are a lot of them, and we discussed this a little bit before the show, the Duke Blue Devils fans are very loyal fans. Not the type that, are going to switch teams when another team is good. I feel like a lot of them are bandwagon fans, but then they stay. They stay for life. I think that's why Duke has so many fans, is because, you join the bandwagon, but then you stay.
I would hope so. At some point, you're going to stay with one team.
No, there are people that we went to high school with. Dan Beebie and I went to the same high school, and Dan O'Shea and I went to the same college, and participated in the same government internship. So, no, Duke is one of those teams that the fans are very loyal and seem like they'll do almost anything for, just short of Charles Manson fans.
Solid. All right. That's if that's not a pronunciation on Duke's fans, I don't know what is.
Do you have any more to say about the Duke fans?
I don't think anything else can be said.
No.
They're just shy of the Charles Manson fans.
All right, so I was wrong before. My number 2 is actually, again, sticking with almost a theme here, is all Boston area sports.
Except Boston College. They're classy.
Yeah, they're fine. All Boston major sports, except soccer, because, again, who cares? The city as a whole is so spoiled by championships that it's enough to drive everyone else crazy when they hear them complain about their various teams. The Bruins have won a Stanley Cup recently. Have the Celtics,
Patriots won recently?
Oh, I don't know. And it's not like I'm going to hear it from every freaking Patriots fan a million times over. The Celtics have won a few within the past decade and look like they're poised to maybe win another few with this team that they're building. And I hope
because they're going to be getting the number 1 pick again next year.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brooklyn.
This is again why I hate Brooklyn fans.
Where Brooklyn at? General. Not in the draft.
The Red Sox have even broken their curse. So it's like, a decade ago, I still had some respect for Boston area fans because they only had a sport here and there that was winning. But within the past decade and a half, they have won so much that it's just annoying. I don't want to hear Boston wins ever again. I hope after this, because I know they're probably going to win a couple more in the near future. I hope after this they go on a 100-year streak. And, they can name the curse after me for cursing them with this, but that's...
Dan Tony curse of all curses.
That's what I hope happens. And you heard it here, Boston fans. I hate you all. Not really. But...
The last championship, I guess you can call it a championship, that people from Boston won that I was okay with involved throwing tea into a harbor.
That's going back.
It's quite a while.
Yeah, I was cheering from the sidelines back then.
Yeah, but the city of Boston is insufferable again because of their hatred of New York. And New York is insufferable because of their hatred of Boston. Which is funny because I hate the Boston Celtics, but I thought Brad Stevens should have been Coach of the Year. I'm confused.
It means, you're open.
It means greatness
things.
Recognize greatness. All right. And sticking with the Boston theme, Tony, number 2, New England Patriots.
Solid all around.
So let's just recap really quickly. Dan Beebie, I forgot myself. Dan Snyder, New England Patriots. Dan Beebie,
the Duke Blue Devils, number 2.
Dan O'Shea,
all of Boston sports.
And Tony Casper, that would be the New England Patriots as well. So now let's get into our honorable mentions. I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 different honorable mentions. So the first one is going to be something that you touched on. It's all of soccer fans. Your sport sucks. Get over it. It's a terrible sport. All of soccer. It's fun to play, horrible to watch. If you're a fan of soccer, you're a fan of stupidity. If you're a fan of stupidity, you're a fan of soccer. It's a direct correlated relationship. And I've only watched soccer like 3 times in my life. And
I watched like twice. I fell asleep both times.
And once is because we got out of class in high school to go watch Germany beat Croatia. And the other 2 were Germany winning in the World Cup. Okay. And I am German, so I'm okay with Germany winning almost anything except for World Wars.
I was gonna say. Looked like a bit of history there.
Let me just read
I fall asleep to baseball and to golf as well, so...
Yeah.
I mean, I could lump those all together.
Let me just go through my other 2, because it's not much. My next honorable mention are LeBron James fans. All right.
Shout out to Ulrich.
All right, they love the Cavaliers when the Cavaliers are winning championships, and oh my